I thought the swings could change me, that the finer things would render me finer too. Loose air.
What we have here that we're presenting is not only an exhibition of learning, but it's also an installation exhibition that the students from the AP and advanced art classes have contributed to, as well as students outside of that specific class. And it's a really awesome opportunity to connect with our community and invite the community into the school and show them what we are doing here in the art department. So my name is Stephanie Fritz. I'm an art educator here at Souhegan High School, and I teach freshmen right up to seniors for all levels from foundations to advanced. The exhibition of learning is about creating an authentic platform for students to present to the community what it is that they're doing in the classroom. And as a teacher, I have the privilege of seeing those aha moments when students get to solve a problem in real time, or they've learned something, and that opportunity that has where the idea has just all come together. Those are things that I'm privileged to experience with those students. And so by having an exhibition of learning, we invite the community to come in and be privy to that same beautiful experience that is learning.
They say that
This is half of my project. This is the full life plaster cast. I've taken like weeks and weeks to slowly plaster my entire body, which has been a really taxing process, but it's worth it. And I'm essentially making two figures. There's this figure, which is the plaster one, and then there's a fabric figure that the plaster piece is gonna be holding. So there is the fabric piece, which is supposed to be essentially your old self, like a mask. It's supposed to be like a shedded skin. And then the plaster piece is supposed to be like growing into your identity, and it will be holding the skin, showing where you've come from, and just growing into who you are. I'm hoping to have wings on the back, like kind of butterfly wings, representing like a butterfly coming out of a chrysalis sort of thing. Representing like gender identity and like exploration within identity in general.
Oh, it's so cool. Everyone is doing something so different, but so like uniquely them in their art style, and it's really interesting to see where people are taking, because we've all like been here since the beginning. So it's really cool to see like no one's project really ever stays the same. It's really cool to see like what they've progressed from their first idea, their initial idea, to now. And it's really interesting the topics that everyone's exploring. I'm excited to see everything up because I haven't really seen the final piece or anything. My project is an exploration of Brazilian culture. I'm using a lot of different colored papers and a lot of collaging to try and explore Brazil's culture and nature and wildlife.
How big is this?
Oh, it's going to be more than 50 feet. It's long. This project has been changing for a while. It was a few different things before, and then so like finally settling on what I wanted to do in my topic was kind of challenging, yeah.
I think for me it's really interesting because, you know, everyone starts off in one place and then they end up migrating to a completely different spot. And like what I was just saying of like I had one figure and now I have 5. Like that is a very big leap. And we all really help each other out with ideas and planning and stuff, especially when people are voicing like, hey, I'm having a hard time with this. Everyone is super supportive. I originally thought that I was going to make it more detailed, and I was really only going to make one of these 6-foot figures, but make it more 3D and more intricate. And then with time, you know, me and Steph, we sat down and we talked, and we kind of figured out that having more and less detail would be better, especially for my kind of art style. So it was a crazy journey.
I've been part of the process as far as kids, you know, kind of talking to me about their installation proposals and where and why and how and what it means to them, and then going and having the opportunity to go into their classroom and listen to them present their project to their peers and then get critical feedback on it. And so when you start to combine all the elements of the project, of planning it, talking about how they're going to do it, doing the project, getting feedback from their peers and other adults, because it's not just Steph, she had other people that have experience in that field to come in and give feedback. It's just a really good, relevant, meaningful project.
So my project is an expressive piece of myself, kind of signifying my happiness with the love of plants surrounding me and like this beautiful landscape that I've created over the years of my life. I think I neglect putting myself forward in the community sometimes because I'm a little bit weary of what people will think, but I think there's always an aspect of people being nervous of putting their art up, but with this assignment I was really comfortable with showcasing it to the community because I was just really comfortable and I was really happy with the way that it turned out. In the class, as artists, we all see each other struggle and we have triumphs, and sometimes we get stuck as artists and it's really great to see each other get stuck and then we push forward.
It's a collection of found objects, trash, single-use plastics that I wanted to put into a piece to kind of make it more sustainable, I guess. If you look at the rocks and stuff. It's bottle caps. You can a lot of it, I wanted you to still be able to see the shapes, which was part of this shading I did, and it was supposed to represent, it's called the ocean's view, so it's supposed to have people see what the ocean sees, all the plastic that it's constantly going into the ocean. So that's what I kind of wanted to represent with it. And I also went through a lot of design phases where I didn't exactly know how I wanted to display the plastic in the first place, because it's a really difficult medium to work with because it's not meant for art, so it's kind of struggle that way.
My project is a project based on a story that I wrote. So for my theme I wanted to do mythology, and this is a story that I wrote about the origin of the universe. I wanted to focus on how our society seems to be losing interest in mythology and history. As we become more advanced, we become more modern, we're losing touch with a lot of the storytelling we used to do. And I think that's a really valuable human skill and a human trait that we're losing due to social media and just fixations on other things in the outside world. And I really wanted to address it in a more modern context, introduce it into new stories so that people would maybe be inspired to revisit their past.
At the end of the day, for me, we want students to have, areas that they're interested in, passions that they want to pursue. And so for me, it doesn't matter if it's algebra, if it's pre-calc, if it's chess club, if it's, in this case, visual arts. We just want kids to go through a process to get better at something that they're interested in. And I think Steph has done that with this particular project, with this particular class. And the work that the kids have done is really incredible. It's really impressive.
For me, my role is to be the facilitator. I facilitate learning, that's it. That's one of my favorite quotes from Souhegan Robinson. And that's something that I hold true to my own personal philosophy, because I can't come in and teach my classes with what I think is the perfect idea for the assignment. All I do is I create a framework for the assignment and then the possibilities to support my students and facilitate their learning. And it's their ideas and their passion that drives forward their learning.
That doesn't sound right. Yeah, it really is. I don't know, a sane person would not do this.
I don't think any artist is necessarily sane.
I think you're right.